It's quite unsafe for a woman to live in this world. The crimes against them are increasing day by day. They depend on and truly believe the cops to save their lives. But what if the same cops become the predator? Do you think there are perverts in the police department? Are they more dangerous than the criminals? On number 3, we have Braulio Gonzalez.
On the wrong side of the law, accused of a despicable crime.
This veteran officer allegedly fondled a little girl, and that child is no stranger to him.
Braulio was a resident of Miami, Dade, and was a veteran police lieutenant. The heinous act took place in 2018 when he kidnapped and molested a child. The survivor was a child who was related to him. He took advantage of their family relations and molested the girl since she turned 8 years old. He continuously abused her for 2 years. At last, the survivor spoke out, and the real fact of Braulio was revealed. When the survivor was just 8 years old, Gonzalez took his gun and pointed it at her. She was then made to comply with his conditions, and then he kept on molesting her till her parents came back home. He threatened her several times after that to make sure she doesn't utter a word to her parents. The poor child was traumatized, and she lived in fear till 2018. When the case was taken to court, it was revealed that Braulio used to take the girl to his home as well and made her strip down all her clothes before him. He then touched her private parts forcefully. Her screams were silenced by that television's volume, and she was mentally broken by this heinous act of this pervert officer. As the case continued in the court, another child came forward, speaking out about what Braulio did to her as well. She survived the perverted act of this veteran officer. He used to creep her out by watching her shower. She was only 9 years old at that time. Braulio showed aggression towards women in general. He attacked 3 of his ex-girlfriends. They all suffered severe physical injury. He used to hit them repeatedly and broke the nose of one of his ex-girlfriends. They all came forward after hearing about the case where he molested a minor. They were all happy that finally the world got to see the real face of Braulio. The acts of Braulio did not suit that of a police officer. He has to treat people with respect and make sure that they are living life safely. But instead, his predator behavior was shown to the minors. He targeted them and molested them for years. He held a 9-year-old girl at gunpoint and molested her brutally. When the decision of the court was declared, everyone was beyond shocked. They never expected Braulio to walk free. Well, he was not fully free, but the court ordered a house arrest that too paid leave from his job. The court turned a blind eye to his wrongdoing. He was overjoyed as he thought that he escaped the prison, but fate had another plan. After a long legal battle, Braulio got the punishment he deserved. He was sentenced to jail. He would serve life in prison. Braulio never expected to receive such a punishment. He thought that he could evade the law of the country and take advantage of many other children. None of his plans worked, and you can see the aggression and disappointment on his face. The prosecution lawyer Natalie Cinder called Braulio a dangerous person, and the world agrees with her. He could hurt a lot of girls if he roamed around freely with the power of a police officer. Braulio never apologized to the survivors. He had no remorse, and he stood there in court being proud of his deeds. He was given several opportunities to apologize, but he refused every single one of them. He didn't want to show that he regrets it. On number 2, we have the Timothy Sadler Jr. Polk County Police Department received a call from a mother of a 9-year-old to file a complaint regarding the inappropriate photos she found in her daughter's phone. The mother was beyond shocked when she found nude photos of a man in her 9-year-old child's phone. She wanted to file a complaint as soon as possible and find out the sender. The Polk County Department didn't have to spend time investigating, as they soon realized that the criminal they were looking for was one of them, but an officer of another department. They couldn't believe that such a person was working for the state to ensure safety. Well, he was not in his right mind and forced a 9-year-old to send her nude photos. What kind of police officer would say such a thing? Sadler met the child on an interactive online game platform. The Wolf was the game they played, and Sankey talked to her in the name of Jade, an 11-year-old kid. The poor child didn't realize the trap she was setting foot on. Sadler planned to get nude photos from her and threaten her to meet with him for a sexual encounter. He made a detailed plan step by step, and he just needed to work it out. He created multiple accounts and names to talk with the child and earn her trust. Apart from Jade, Sadler created a profile pretending to be a 31-year-old Jason. He talked to the child, introducing him as a close friend of Jade's father. The child believed him as Jade confirmed that it was her dad's close friend. The child didn't know that behind the screen, it was Sadler who talked to her and not Jade or Jason. Both these people were creations of Sadler, and they didn't exist in real life. Sadler slowly started grooming the girl. He talked through the account of Jade and told the girl that she has a sexual relationship with Jason and it's fun. The girl was uncomfortable at first, but believed the 11-year-old Jade. He started sending pornographic images to the girl from the account of Jason and started talking to get in a sexually explicit way. He thought that she would soon fall into the trap and meet up with him. The 9-year-old survivor started sending her nude photos, and Sadler was happy to see her falling prey to him. He stored all the images to use against her in the future. During this time, he was going to his office and acting as a good police officer. No one suspected him and everyone believed him to be this ideal man. They were all unaware of what he does behind his bedroom walls. The 9-year-old child's older sister found out about the sexually explicit texts and pornographic images Sadler sent her. She informed her mother. She called the police immediately. Sadler was arrested and fired from his job immediately. On number 1, we have Trevor Smith. Trevor Smith was working in the Washington State Patrol. He fell for the sting operation and was caught red-handed. In 2022, Trevor was looking for new prey. That's when he met a mother of 2 who was ready to go into an agreement with Trevor for him to have sex with her 2 children, who were only 6 and 11 years old. Trevor was so happy as he thought he would get 2 children to sleep with that too, with their mother's consent. The undercover female officer, who pretended to be the woman selling her kids, realized that Trevor was a pedophile. The Seattle Police Department wanted to catch pedophiles, and they made the undercover police officer place an ad. Trevor was interested in it and contacted the mother without knowing that it was a sting operation. During the conversation, the undercover police officer asked what he would give her in exchange for abusing her 2 children, to which Trevor replied that she could sexually abuse his 9-month-old son. The police department was shocked to read the text, as they can imagine all Trevor would have exchanged for his son. He was unfit to be a father and shows no mercy to his child. Trevor showed up in a hotel room and the undercover police arranged for him as he thought he would sexually abuse 2 children. He even came to the room with contraceptives, which shows that he was prepared to sexually attack 6 and 11-year-old children. Trevor was fired from his job and was sentenced to 10 years in prison, after which he would be released, but he will be under the supervision of the police for 15 years. Do you think this kind of police officer should be declared unfit for service? Should they be punished brutally? Let us know in the comments.
A succession of events took place in silence, revealing a network of deceit and criminality. Charlene, a member of the prison staff, started it all when she had an affair with an inmate. Charlene lost her job and could face legal consequences because federal law prohibits any sexual interactions between prison employees and inmates. A zero-tolerance policy against sexual assault in prisons was instituted after this occurrence.
Called our 911. Called her back, and she said then that he had a gun. They were asking them to leave. So I don't know anything since then.
Okay. So nobody here has been injured?
No, that's what I told him when I called. He told me that he was help.
At the same time, a frightening event took place in a residence. Authorities entered the building and found evidence of a fight in various locations. They found Kelly's motionless body in the kitchen, surrounded by evidence suggesting she had been murdered. The police had a quick and easy time zeroing in on William as their main suspect.
Which house?
This house right here.
That's just
Has anybody confirmed?
We have not confirmed. We just pulled up, just got what she stated.
All right, has anybody been in?
No, we just pulled up.
He's saying you're saying he called you.
Yeah.
Can we get anybody to the door? Where is he at?
We haven't approached.
All right, but I want to make sure he's not in here with a gun.
Kelly was a paramedic in Columbus, Georgia, who often went out of her way to help those around her. Those that knew her admired her, but Kelly kept a secret from everyone.
His formidable threat was due in no small part to his vast experience in SWAT and police tactics. But then, something out of the ordinary happened. The police were notified of William's car accident by phone call. They hurried to the hospital and quickly located their bleeding and battered suspect there. After William was released, the official investigation began in an interrogation room. Violation of office and possible complicity in Kelly's death were among the charges that loomed. William was asked about two women, Becky and Kelly, during the interview.
The purpose of this interview is just to talk to you about the case that we're working on, former Sergeant Talley. I knew you had some type of relationship with him, whether it was a personal relationship, whether it was a friendship, or just as a co-worker. But we'll let you answer those questions. So we'll just start with just some brief questions about your knowledge about former Sergeant Talley. How long have you known him?
Oh man, ever since he's been here, several years.
Okay. Do you have any idea about how long he's been working here at the police department?
I really don't. I mean, off the top of my head, I would imagine over 10 years. I would think, I don't know, probably 10, 12 years.
Okay.
I really don't know.
How long have you been working here?
28 years.
Kelly was his lover, but it later came out that William was married to another lady named Rebecca Talley. William's expression changed from one of bewilderment to one of evident anguish, yet his veracity remained in doubt. William's feelings bubbled to the surface as the investigator continued to pry. His anger seemed genuine to some extent, but there was also the sense that he was just using it as a ploy to shift blame away from himself and vent his discontent with his current situation. The tense interview ended when William finally got a lawyer. William Halley knew that the ins and outs of the police department, but he was still given a life sentence since the evidence against him was so strong.
Became a team leader, because at that point we'd always, if we had a mission, I'd always get with him and we would talk about the mission and get a game plan together, do our ops plan and work that way.
It was a shock to all of us. I understand. It's a shock all the way around, man. Yeah, both sides. Both sides, believe me. It's like, how do you come to this place? I mean, and then trying to...
We're all human, man. I see all that crap on Facebook and trying to blame the police. This ain't got nothing to do with police. Ain't got nothing to do with anything. It's two human beings.
That's right.
Some people snap sometimes, no matter what their career is.
Oh, there you go.
They'll be flipping burgers, they're gonna snap the same way if you a cop, a judge, or whatever. Ain't got nothing to do with your career,
I agree.
The only lead that the police had was that he left the crime scene in Kelly's vehicle. They knew he had not only received police training, but SWAT as well, so he would be difficult to find.
The complexity and intensity of feelings involved in this case exemplified the determination of law enforcement to bring about justice. The case of Matthew Boynton is a disturbing tale of duplicity, intrigue, and suspected police misconduct. Unlike most police investigations, this one took an unexpected route that left everyone perplexed.
Arrested without incident and sent to the hospital.
12? Okay.
Sally, you know me, right, bud?
We're taking it no matter what, right?
With the bandit, yeah, remember? All right, brother. We're gonna take care of you now.
You ready for the handcuffs?
After William was cleared at the hospital, he was put into an interrogation room.
Hey, man. Want some water?
Sure. A cup of coffee? You sure? Well, we got a bottle of water here just in case you need it. Are you gonna be able to sit up for us? Okay. Back hurting you?
On April 15, 2016, officers discovered Jessica Boynton concealed in a closet with a gunshot wound to her head and a police-issued pistol in her hand. The county sheriff proclaimed her dead at the scene, but a medical evaluation at the hospital showed a completely different scenario. There were no gunshot wounds or bullets, only evidence of a blunt force attack to the back of her skull. Jessica's condition, while critical, did not support the sheriff's determination.
You know how long you been in the hospital?
Days.
Days. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm not your judge, man, okay? I'm not your judge. But we brought you over here. Hopefully we can get a better understanding of maybe what happened on Saturday, Sunday. And hopefully we'll get your side of that. And you can kind of help shed some light on what happened out there, okay? And maybe some of the events that might have led up to this. All right? But before we do that, we're gonna obviously, we got all your information written down here on advice for rights form. You got a bachelor's degree, right? All right. And so we're gonna evaluate your rights, and then we'll kind of go from there, okay?
Matthew Boynton, a key figure in this confusing case, emerged as a leading suspect. He stated he received a text message from Jessica indicating she was thinking about suicide. He contacted the police after hearing 2 gunshots from their residence. During the police interview, however, Matthew's discrepancies became apparent. When questioned about a bag containing Jessica's personal stuff, his dishonest actions became clear. Matthew's long and rambling response to a basic question concerning the bag indicated to the police that he was not telling the truth. The detectives had suspected him of hiding something before, but now they were convinced. This bag, which contained Jessica's clothes and was discovered in Matthew's possession, proved that he had lied under oath.
Read this bottom portion, and if you're able to, when I finish up, if you would just initial on these lines saying you understand, if you're able to, and then sign it for me. The bottom portion is a waiver of rights. Says, I have read or have had read to me the above rights, and I understand what my rights are. I am willing to make a statement and answer questions without having a lawyer present at this time. I understand and know what I am doing. No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure or coercion of any kind has been used against me.
Can I ask what my charges are?
Yeah, right now you're charged with murder. You're charged with violation of oath of office, and you're charged with possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime.
The bag theft may seem little, but exposed Matthew's credibility issue. Most of his information may be false if he lied about that. He resigned from the police after confessing to taking the bag and lying under oath. The assault on Jessica and that sad night went unresolved, darkening the case. Matthew was never charged with these major crimes, creating police corruption accusations. The county sheriff, his grandfather, had initially declared Jessica dead at the scene, raising his suspicions. The head trauma erased Jessica's memory, therefore the night's events are unknown. This story is a disturbing reminder of power abuse and unsolved questions.
Well, I can tell you who, if we can get started there. And it is Kelly. No! Don't do that. No! No! Sally, come on. Sally. Bill. Billy. No! No!
A small, poorly lit interrogation room was tense. Stephanie Eileen Lazarus, a former top detective, sat across from 2 others, anxious. This strange and unnerving dialogue took place in a chilly, calculated interrogation room. The detectives, aware of Stephanie's background, had deceived her into working on a confidential investigation. They promised her the interrogation room was the safest location to talk. Stephanie, plainly uneasy, fidgeted and looked around.
Bill, let me give you an answer. Bill. Bill, no. Stop, Bill. Relax. Bill, stop. Relax.
I'm not here to judge, man. Just stop. Just stop.
Here, you want some water? I think you need to have a sip of water. Relax.
Stop. It's all unnecessary, Bill. If you don't want to talk to us, that's fine, but let's not do this, okay? Okay? Let's not do this, okay?
The 1986 murder of Sherry Rasmussen went unsolved for 23 years. Shot 3 times, Sherry was found dead at home. It was initially assumed to be a bungled burglary, but the inquiry failed. Due to her intricate love triangle with Sherry and John Rutten, Stephanie was a potential candidate based on fresh DNA evidence. The investigators approached John warily, sensing Stephanie's uneasiness. Stephanie's irritation was clear. Her breathing accelerated and she got defensive. She strongly denied murdering Sherry and demanded to know if she was suspected.
Oh, God. Why keep it?
Bill, you don't want to talk to us? Are you aware that you have an attorney representing you or not?
Nobody's talking to me about anything.
Okay.
Stephanie hesitated when the competent detectives requested for a DNA sample, sensing the gravity of the issue. She considered legal representation. The investigators arrested her after gathering enough evidence during this tense conversation, despite her brief cooperation.
Who else did I hurt?
Right now you're hurting yourself.
I don't care about me.
Well,
who else did I hurt?
There's no one else.
I keep hearing when people whisper, or whispers.
You keep hearing whispers? Okay, well, what whispering do you hear?
No, tell me the truth.
Okay, there's no one else hurt. Okay. Everybody else is okay.
Kelly's dead.
Yes. Bill, let's not do this.
Take me back to jail.
Take you back to jail.
Take me back to jail.
All right. Calm down. We'll take you back. Okay.
Hey, look, why don't you sit up and hold your head up so all that the rest of your head, okay? Sit up for me.
Okay.
Down. There you go. Sit up for me, man. Sit up. You got all that blood rushing down to your head. You know better than that, okay? Relax. Relax.
Months later, the courtroom would host this twisted drama's finale. Stephanie Lazarus was tried for murdering Sherry Rasmussen. The verdict was damning. First-degree murder. After 2 decades of hiding her guilt, Stephanie was sentenced to 27 years. The end of a famous investigator who had escaped justice for too long began with this weird and unsettling interrogation room showdown.